In this recap, Invincible, the show opens in the White House with the Mauler twins attacking the place with the intent to kill the president. The Guardians of the Globe, with the help of Omni-Man, manage to stop the attacks. Meanwhile, Mark, who's in high school, still waits for his Viltrumite powers to manifest. Mark discovers his powers emerge while at work as he was taking out the trash, accidentally throwing it to space. The next morning, he goes into training with his dad, but he gets caught off guard as Nolan punches him too hard in an attempt to stress the importance of being a hero. To distress himself, Mark stops a robbery whilst donning his homemade suit, which Nolan witnesses. During their serious talk, Mark states that he just wants to be a hero like his dad. As a making-up gift, Nolan takes Mark to Art Rosenbaum, a superhero suit maker, to make him a proper suit. Mark goes back to meet Art and decides to call himself Invincible. He goes out for a test run with his new suit but discovers an attack nearby. Mark apprehends Kilkennan and stops the attack. Later, the Guardians of the Globe are alerted and meet at their headquarters. Omni-Man reveals himself and engages in a bloody fight with the Guardians. Omni-Man kills all the Guardians before falling unconscious. Following Omni-Man's attack, the Global Defense Agency finds the Guardians dead and Omni-Man unconscious. Not knowing the real situation, Mark and Debbie were informed of Nolan's comatose state by director Cecil Stedman, who also informs them of the Guardians' death. The alien group called the Flaxons attack the city and Invincible helps the teen team stop their attack. The Flaxons retreat due to time dilation difference which caused them to age rapidly. Mark recognizes Adam Eve as Eve Wilkins, his classmate from high school, and befriends her. Mark shares his identity with her and she invites him to meet the other members of the teen team after school. The Global Defense Agency continues their investigation of the Guardian's death and encounters Damien Darkblood, a demon detective doing his own investigation. Mark receives a phone call that the Flaxons attack again. They almost succeed until Omni-Man shows up and forces the Flaxon army back to their planet. Omni-Man destroys their home planet as a payback. In the Guardians' private funeral, Damien questions Nolan with his suspicions. Meanwhile, Cecil asks Robot to work for the GDA and lead a new Guardians of the Globe team. Mark finally calls Amber and invites her for a study date. In Pentagon, Robot holds a tryout to find new members for the Guardians of the Globe. Robot recruits Black Samson, Shrinking Ray, Duplicate, Monster Girl, Rex Splode, and Adam Eve. Eve quits the team after previously discovering that Rex cheated on her with Duplicate. The Mauler twins escape prison through the help of a benefactor, who was revealed to be Robot, but one of them sacrifices the other. Damien pays a visit to Debbie for his investigation and feeds her his suspicions about Nolan. Nolan confronts Damien and warns him to stay away from his family, but Damien tells him that Debbie is already suspicious of him. In the GDA, Cecil banishes Damien in order to stop him from investigating the case until he figures out why Nolan killed the Guardians. However, Damien was able to hide his notebook in Debbie's closet. Titan asks Invincible for help on taking down Machine Head, and also explains his situation to him. Invincible agrees to help Titan despite his father not agreeing to him. Titan and Invincible storm Machine Head's office, and a fight starts between them and Machine Head's people. The Guardians arrive to help the fight, but Battle Beast successfully incapacitates Invincible, Monster Girl, and Black Samson. Debbie finds the notebook that Damien left and she regains her suspicions against Nolan. Mark regains consciousness in the hospital, but Black Samson and Monster Girl remain unconscious. Robot leads the surgery for Monster Girl after having studied her physiology before. Mark reconciles with Amber after blowing her off in the soup kitchen. The two accompany William to Upstate University to meet with William's crush, Rick Sheridan. Eve visits Mark and tells him about her plans of helping people on her own after getting inspired by Amber's humanitarian advocacy. In the university, a cyborg experiment attacks, which led Mark to leave Amber and the others and fight as Invincible. William recognizes Mark as Invincible, and Amber was upset that Mark left and breaks up with him. Rick gets kidnapped by Daw. Sinclair, the mad scientist behind the cyborg experiments. Cecil and the GDA arrest Sinclair, but takes interest in his technology. Debbie brings Nolan's costume to Art Rosenbaum and examines it, which confirms her suspicions that Nolan was behind the Guardian's death. Debbie and Art agree to keep quiet about the situation, but she confronts Nolan after a drunken rage. Concurrently, the Mauler successfully clones himself with the aid of Robot. Debbie continues to confront Nolan regarding the truth, but Nolan only asks her to trust her. Debbie gets summoned to the GDA, where she learns that Cecil already knows the truth about Nolan. Robot manipulates the Maulers to add the neural link upgrade to the clone he was building, his ruddy clone, which looks like a younger version of Rex, as Robot uses Rex's DNA. After successfully linking their minds, Robot pays and betrays the Maulers. He summons the rest of the Guardians and explains himself himself before revealing the truth about Omni-Man and the former Guardian's death. Mark tells Amber his identity as Invincible, only for Amber to tell him that she already figured it out but was still upset that he didn't trust her. Back at the house, Omni-Man seeks Debbie and Mark, only to find GDA soldiers and Donald, Cecil's assistant, spying on him and his family. Cecil and Debbie witness Omni-Man kill the GDA soldiers and Donald. Omni-Man fights them, which Mark and Eve intercept. Cecil orders Eve to leave Mark and meet with the Guardians. The Maulers revive Immortal with the help of Robot. Filled with rage, Immortal flies off to fight Omni-Man to avenge his teammates. In a live televised footage, the news catches Omni-Man kill Immortal for everyone to see. Omni-Man finally asks his son for a talk. Nolan explains to Mark his Viltrumite origins and reveals that he infiltrated Earth for the Viltrumites to conquer Earth. Nolan convinces Mark to join him conquer Earth, but fails. The two fights as Omni-Man and Invincible, but Omni-Man easily overpowers Invincible, destroying Chicago in the process. Once Nolan realizes his love for Mark, he proceeds to fly off to space guilty, leaving an injured Mark alone. Cecil helps Debbie and Mark falsify Nolan's public death. Mark and Amber rekindle their relationship after the former's recovery. Eve informs Amber and William of her superhero identity. Cecil informs Mark of an object flying towards Earth's atmosphere, which turns out to be Alan the alien. Invincible updates Alan with the current events, and Alan convinces Mark that he can be of advantage for the Coalition to stop the Viltrumites. That's all for this awesome recap. Thanks for watching Flick and TV. See you in the next one.